What if I told you there's an ancient guide to finding a deep, profound sense of peace, but not through endless struggle, a path that's actually joyful and, well, effortless? Today, we're going to unlock that very teaching. I mean, it's a question that echoes through all of our busy lives, right? We all want to find that calm, happy place, but the journey there often feels like a constant uphill battle. It's exhausting. But what if there was another way, a faster, more joyful path? Okay, so let's dive into where this comes from. Our source takes us to Vulture Peak Mountain, where one of the Buddha's most advanced students, Maitreya, asks this exact question. He's not trying to be lazy. He's basically asking for the most effective, the most efficient path to liberation, not just for him, but for everyone. And the answer he gets? Well, that's what we're about to explore. And the Buddha's answer is one of those things that's so simple, it's actually kind of shocking. It doesn't involve some complicated ritual or impossible test of willpower. It all comes down to cultivating a single state of mind. That's it. Loving kindness. The Buddha says that if you want to find that effortless path to awakening, you just have to practice and master this one thing. And here's the cool part. He explains that this single practice, when you do it right, naturally contains all the other big virtues. Generosity, discipline, wisdom, the whole shebang. They call them the 6 perfections. So this one practice is like the master key that unlocks everything else. So that sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Well, this text doesn't just give us a nice idea to think about. It gives us a very specific, powerful, and detailed visualization meditation. It's a practice designed to completely remap how you see yourself and your relationship to literally everything. The whole practice really breaks down into 3 core stages. First, you totally change how you see your own body. Second, you build a perfect world inside of that new perception. And third, you swing the doors open and invite everyone in. And I do mean everyone. So let's break that down. Okay, so the very first step is to stop seeing your body as this solid, fleshy thing. Instead, you visualize it as this huge collection of countless tiny, radiant particles. Each and every one is described as being as brilliant as a jewel, like pure lapis lazuli on the outside, with this shimmering gold glow on the inside. So you're not just a body anymore, you're a cosmos of light. Now this is where it gets really incredible. The level of detail here is just wow. Inside every single one of those tiny, radiant particles, the practice asks you to construct a perfect heavenly world. We're talking palaces made of jewels, gardens with fragrant fruit-bearing trees, and pools filled with pure healing water. It's this vision of absolute peace and beauty and abundance that you're building, not somewhere out there, but right inside yourself. And this right here, this is the heart of the entire practice. Once you've built this infinite inner sanctuary, you don't keep it for yourself. You throw the doors wide open and you mentally invite every single being from every corner of the universe to come and share in this perfect peace and happiness. This is the act of loving kindness made real. But here comes the biggest challenge. The text is crystal clear. Every single living being includes the tough ones. The people who have hurt you, wronged you, or the ones you just can't stand. Yep, them too. So the sutra presents us with this very stark choice. You can hold on to anger, which it calls a poison. It says anger leads to terrible future rebirths, and more importantly, it completely blocks your own freedom right now. The text warns that if you hold on to anger towards even one person, you can't truly help anyone. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is the act that liberates not just them, but you. And the Buddha really doesn't mince words here. He calls a person who's holding on to anger foolish, because from this perspective, clinging to hatred is like tying yourself up in chains and then wondering why you can't help anybody else. It makes perfect sense. So the crucial point here is that letting go of resentment isn't just a nice idea. It is an absolute, non-negotiable requirement for this path. So how do you do it? How do you forgive the unforgivable? How do you generate this boundless love? Well, the text offers a profound shift in perspective, one that helps dissolve the very foundation that anger is built on. And that shift comes from understanding the concept of emptiness. Now, this is really important. Emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. It means that nothing, not you, not your enemy, not the pain they caused, has a fixed, solid, permanent identity. Everything is fleeting, it's all interconnected, and it's all dependent on everything else.
To help us wrap our heads around this tricky idea, the text uses these beautiful metaphors. It says reality is like a dream. You know, how it feels completely real while you're in it, but then you wake up and you realize it was just a creation of your mind? Or it's like a mirage in the desert, a magician's trick, or a reflection in a mirror. It appears to be there, but it has no solid substance. So when you start to see the world this way, those hard lines between me and you, friend and enemy, they begin to soften. They start to dissolve. I mean, how can you hold a permanent, solid grudge against a dream figure? This realization is what allows your loving kindness to finally become limitless, because it's no longer getting snagged on this idea of a solid me who is wronged by a solid other.
So, what happens when you put this all together, when you really commit to this practice? The text wraps up by describing the incredible benefits, and they are, quite literally, cosmic in scale. To put the power of this practice into perspective, the Buddha offers this staggering comparison. The positive energy, or merit, that you generate from this one visualization of loving kindness is greater than if you were to fill the entire universe with jewels and offer it to all the Buddhas every single day for an entire eon, which is an unimaginably long period of time. It's just mind-boggling. And the results aren't just some abstract cosmic energy. The source promises very specific, tangible outcomes for your life. You'll wipe clean your past negative karma. You'll find protection from illness and hardship. You'll be loved and respected by others. And, this is a big one, at the moment of death, you'll be fearless and guided toward a blissful rebirth. It pretty much guarantees your path to full enlightenment. So this ancient text leaves us with a really powerful final thought. It hands us the tools to completely transform our inner world from a place of conflict and limitation into a boundless realm of peace and compassion. It suggests that reality is way more flexible than we think. So the only question left is, if reality really is like a dream, what kind of dream are you going to choose to create with your mind?